New York Times Company v. Sullivan, 1964, is a landmark case that had a monumental impact on freedom of the press and the civil rights movement in the United States. In this lawsuit, the New York Times, one of the leading newspapers in the country, went head-to-head against L.B. Sullivan, a public official from Montgomery, Alabama. The case revolved around a full-page advertisement published by the Times that called for contributions to defend Martin Luther King, Jr., who was wrongfully arrested during the civil rights protests. The advertisement in question contained some factual errors, including minor inaccuracies, but it did not directly mention Sullivan or portray him in a negative light. Nevertheless, Sullivan filed a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times and demanded $500,000 in damages. The case quickly gained attention and became more than a simple dispute between a public official and a newspaper. During the trial, the New York Times argued that the advertisement did not defame Sullivan as an individual, but rather addressed a broader issue of civil rights and the unjust treatment of African Americans. They claimed that the inaccuracies were minor and did not constitute defamation. On the other hand, Sullivan believed that the advertisement tarnished his reputation and sought to hold the newspaper accountable. The case eventually made its way to the Supreme Court, where the justices faced a momentous decision that would shape the future of free speech and the press. In a landmark ruling, the court sided with the New York Times, setting a higher standard for public figures to prove defamation. The court held that for a public official to win a defamation case, they must prove actual malice, that the publication knew the statement was false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. This new standard provided greater protection for the press and allowed room for more robust reporting and criticism of public officials. It recognized the importance of freedom of speech and the press in a democratic society. The court's decision in New York Times Company versus Sullivan had a profound impact, not only on the newspaper industry, but also on the civil rights movement and the ability to hold powerful figures accountable. Furthermore, this ruling further fortified the position of the press as a crucial watchdog in a democratic society. It ensured that journalists were able to report on important issues without fear of excessive litigation. By setting a higher standard for defamation claims against public figures, the ruling allowed the press to fulfill its role in holding those in power accountable and maintaining transparency. New York Times Company v. Sullivan remains a landmark case and serves as a reminder of the fundamental role the press plays in preserving democracy. It continues to shape legal interpretations of defamation laws and protect the freedom of the press. This ruling set an important precedent for future cases and highlighted the significance of an independent and fearless press. It stands as a testament to the tireless efforts of those who fought for civil rights and the power of the judiciary in safeguarding democratic values.